Yo, what is going on, my fellow wrestling fans? Welcome to a brand new week and welcome to a post Royal Rumble edition of what we like to call the Clash of Champions, where we dive headfirst into all the controversies, storylines, personalities, and everything in between that center around this world we know and love as professional wrestling. I am your host, the vegan you believe in, Conscious Kurt, aka the Professor in the flesh, as always. And my co-host needs no introduction, but the hell with it. He's about to give y'all one anyway.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. This is Jonathan Randall, the adventurer himself. Always make your life an adventure, as I say on my Instagram bio. And that's right, ladies and gentlemen. We're bringing you the wrestling news that you need to hear. And my God, we're going to bring you that Royal Rumble, that lot of controversy that happened. I haven't seen this much controversy in 10 years, though. But hey, regardless, it was one heck of a show. And I'm so glad that we're on the road to WrestleMania. Kurt, how you been, dude?
Been pretty good. I really enjoyed watching the Royal Rumble on Saturday night. And even though there was only 4 matches, the show was still 4.5 hours.
Mm.
Holy shit. But it was still a good show,
Mm.
regardless of what people's feelings are about the outcomes, the Rumble winners, all that jazz. It was still a good Royal Rumble show, and both Royal Rumble matches, I believe, delivered. And at the end of the day, as a fan, that's all you can ask for.
I agree too. This Royal Rumble delivered. I said going in, even a month going in, I said that this Royal Rumble is going to be one of the best Rumbles matches of all time, mainly talking for the men's. And yeah, it got a lot of controversy, but I don't know what got more, or the Rumble aftermath, or the fact that my Lakers made a huge trade, probably one of the biggest trades in NBA history.
Yes, the news broke right after their win over my precious Knicks on Saturday night.
I'm sorry about that. Oh my God, I'm so
Is what
sorry.
it is.
I'm sorry.
To
Oh,
be honest, I meant to
oh,
watch the game.
yeah.
I meant to watch that game after the Rumble was over, but the thing is, the Rumble didn't end until 10:30. And by the time I
Mm,
was about to go watch the game, it was practically over. The Lakers had like a convincing lead, so there was kind of like
mm,
no point in watching it.
mm-hmm.
But yes, the Lakers have traded Anthony Davis to Dallas for Luca.
Yeah, and
Holy
this the,
shit!
the offer that we got, just the what we got in return, what versus what Dallas got in return was just absolutely just completely one sided and crazy when you really think about it. Yes, I understand the Dallas Mavericks got Anthony Davis, and all of us Laker fans are going to miss Anthony Davis. His contributions that he did for our team for the 6 years, and he even got us a championship during the COVID year. But you got to think about it like this. Yeah, they're getting Anthony Davis, but you got to remember Anthony Davis is in his 30s. I think he's 30 or 31, but he is injury prone. You know what I mean? So you got to look at that at that aspect. And then Luka Doncic, he's only 25 years old, Kurt. He's only 25. He has this whole, he hasn't even hit his prime yet. With the list of accomplishments he has on his resume, and the fact that he already led his team to NBA finals, even though they lost last season, that says a lot. And the fact that, before we went on the air, I said how the decision that the Dallas Mavericks made as an organization was kind of like more in fear. Like, you have all of these things that Luca has done for your organization, but it's like you trade him away because of the fact that it's mostly more like, like a maturity thing, and the fact that he is a little bit out of shape. That's something that could definitely be worked on, but it's like that's something to make that decision. I don't think that was a smart decision on them. It's like, okay, you did this, but you did that, but we still want to trade you. That was just, I don't know, man. I think the Lakers won the trade in this situation. We just gave up. We only gave up Anthony Davis, a couple of our other bench players, and we gave up a first round pick from 2029. That really is not going to affect us.
Yeah, only time will tell how this all plays
Yeah.
out. I saw that they had the press conference a few hours ago.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But it's so crazy. This trade happened 17 years to the day of when the
Yep.
Lakers traded for Paul Gasol. And we
Yep.
saw how great that turned out for the Lakers back in
Exactly.
2009, 2010. Yeah,
Exactly.
so if this trade could have some similar implications, then it is a win for the Lakers.
Definitely, and you got to look at the history of this organization. You know, they are very good at making splash that big star's name. You look at Magic to Kobe, Shaq to LeBron, and now Luca.
Unfortunately, there was one person they could not make that splash with.
Oh, Chris Paul.
Well, you can't even count Chris Paul because he never played for the team. I was going to refer to Dwight Howard.
Oh yeah, his two runs, his
Oh,
first run.
God.
Yeah, I mean, look, I get the second one he won a ring though. You know what I mean? But still, but when I think about that Chris Paul trade, God rest David Stern's soul. If he was still the commissioner, he would have vetoed this trade, just like he did back in 2011 with Kobe and Chris Paul.
Yeah, that was so weird. It kind of felt like that would have been a nice shot in the arm for them, especially after how the playoffs ended for them the
Yeah,
year before. But then, for
yeah,
whatever reason, they got vetoed, and then
yeah.
the Lakers were never really on that same level again. And
And
so,
it did,
the
and it did
LeBron
rub me
Anthony
off.
Davis run.
Yeah, and it really did rub me off the wrong way and everybody else, because it's like you vetoed that, but yet it's okay for LeBron um look, LeBron to team up in Miami along with Dwayne Wade
And Chris Bosh.
and Chris Bosh. Thank you. You know what I mean? Like, come on.
Yeah, I think that's the thing that kind of motivated him to make that decision because I guess he
Because of
wanted to
that,
stop that trend. I guess maybe he
yeah,
wanted to stop that trend of the super teams, and then that's why he possibly vetoed that trade. But then the
yeah.
next year they had Kobe, Dwight Howard, and Steve
Steve
Nash
Nash.
all
Hmm.
together, and yeah,
Yeah,
that shit was a huge, gigantic bust. Ooh, makes me
yeah.
sad that it actually turned out that way.
No, I had high hopes. I thought like, oh, like this is around something good though, but it didn't turn out the way that we had hoped for. But it is what it is. But
Yeah, and you had Mike D'Antoni as your coach too. That also didn't help.
oh my god, yeah. Oh god, don't get me started on that. Yeah, I remember
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
I remember him being the coach of the Knicks, and I remember many a frustrated post game
Oh,
with him being the
yeah. I
coach.
know you felt. I know that's painful memories for you when you hear his name. But yeah, I'm happy that the trade made. Look, my farewell to Anthony Davis, man. I am a bit heartbroken that he is gone because I loved him. I love Anthony Davis. Every Laker fan did, and I wish the best for him. But yeah, the decision wasn't left in our hands. It was a decision that was amongst between the organizations between Dallas and LA. And yeah, it is. They're still talking about it. It's most likely that Luca may start on Saturday, play his first game as a Laker.
We'll see what happens. We'll see how that goes down. And yeah, the NBA, it's definitely going to be more interesting with the trade deadline coming up. And let's
Mm-hmm.
see where Jimmy Butler ends up. And uh,
They still haven't figured that out. Golden
honestly,
State want nothing to do with it. They still have not figured it out.
yeah, that's what I was saying last week when we had this conversation about that. I can understand why he maybe doesn't want to play in Miami anymore. He might not be happy there for whatever reason, but the way he's handling it and the way he's going about it is just really making him look bad. And it's making other teams look at him and say, yo, I don't want to deal with that nonsense. I don't want to deal with that drama. Hell with that fuckery.
Yeah. Well, I'm just now finding out because I have my TV on right now. Because I'm watching NBA Live right now. I'm just now hearing that the Suns are interested. Phoenix Suns.
Yeah, that's another disappointing team over the last few years.
Yeah, I mean, even though they have Devin Booker and Kevin Durant, I mean, I think maybe Jimmy Butler may help. I guess we'll see. I don't know, but
Yeah, the Phoenix Bums is probably more like it the way it's been looking the last few years.
I mean, they did win to finals. That was
Yeah,
what?
but
What?
since then, yeah, but
Yeah,
since that 2021 season where they went to the finals, granted,
yeah.
that year after they got crushed by the Mavericks, like in
Mm,
game 7 at Phoenix, they got crushed by them. And yeah, they have not been a contender since.
no, oh, we'll see what happens though. But I can't wait for this weekend though. But
Oh yeah, it's the Super Bowl. That's right, Super Bowl.
oh, I mean that too. But because like I said, alluded to earlier, it's good chance that Luke is going to play his first game as a Laker on Saturday. So
Maybe they'll lose. No, I'm just talking shit.
I don't even know who they're playing against. I didn't even look at the schedule yet though. But nah, I
Hopefully
mean,
they'll be playing the Wizards.
yeah, yeah. But
All right, but anyway, what also happened this past Saturday, what's we're mainly here to talk about is the 2025 WWE Royal Rumble taking place from Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis, Indiana, home of Pat McAfee, who apparently was a huge part of bringing the show to Indianapolis. And from what the announcement came out about with the attendance, it did over 70,000 people.
yeah, and the buys in the gate was one of the largest gates in WWE history.
They said it was the third largest gate for any show in WWE history. Like it's surpassed many WrestleManias, they said.
Crazy. That is wow.
For the Royal Rumble, son. For the Royal
Yeah, I
Rumble.
know.
It wasn't
And
even initially a pay-per-view when it started. It was a USA special, and 35
right.
so years later, it's breaking these kind of records.
That's what I'm saying. You look at the past like few years where the Royal Rumble has been at. It's been in baseball stadiums and is no different. From this past Saturday, it wasn't a football stadium, but yeah, it broke a lot of records, man. And I'm hey, my hats off to them.
I'm just a little bummed and disappointed that Peyton Manning didn't have a cameo in the men's Royal Rumble match.
True.
But I did get a kick out of Michael Cole and Cody Rhodes crown surfing at like the Royal Rumble pep rally show the day before.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah, yeah, that
I
was
was actually
funny.
talking with Wade Keller about that when I was on his show on Friday. He was talking about how it kind of looked weird for Cody to be doing that after like on Raw Monday. They were talking about how like Cody's cracking under the pressure and Cody's like stressed out because of how much he's on his plate. And then all of a sudden
Mhm.
that Friday he's freaking crowd surfing.
I mean, like you got to put on a show for your at a press conference. You know what I mean? For your fans, you know what I mean? They're going to be doing that for later on in a couple of months for Mania, though, because there's a big weekend ahead of Mania. You got WWE World coming up. The fan access, and you got SmackDown on Friday. You got Stand and Deliver on Saturday, and of course you got WrestleMania Saturday and Sunday, and plus, now can't we forget Raw after WrestleMania on Monday, all at T-Mobile Arena.
Yeah, it's gonna be one crazy ass weekend, just like it was in Indianapolis. And my explanation for as far as Cody crowd surfing, I just said maybe Monday he was just having a bad day, and then Friday doing that was kind of the way to kind of relieve the stress.
Yeah, you got to put on a show for everybody now. So,
Just hope he didn't have his wallet on him while he was doing that.
oh yeah, yeah, that's a good point. Good point.
But in any event, so yes, we had the Royal Rumble, and what opened the Royal Rumble was the women's Royal Rumble match.
Of course, figured you want to start off the show with a big bang and start off with. To me at first I thought maybe we'll do the tag team, but I was like, no, they're going to start off with the women's Royal Rumble, and rightfully so.
Yes, and the first entrant for the Women's Royal Rumble was Io Sky, one of my personal picks to win. And number two was the woman who just recently dropped the Women's World Championship, Liv Morgan.
Mm.
Yeah, so these two started it out, went at it for a few minutes, and then number three was NXT's Roxanne Perez, who we've been seeing actually on Raw the last few weeks, interacting with Bayley. So yeah, she came out at number three, and we'll get into her performance a little later. So we had her come out. We also had Chelsea Green come out to a nice reaction. I actually really enjoyed Chelsea Green's performance in the Rumble. Like she really had a lot of interesting spots.
Interesting.
Also Lash Legend came out at number nine. She had an impressive performance. Oh, yo, that woman is a goddess, son. Oh my god! But that's another story. Yeah, she came out. Bianca Belair came out right after her at number 10, and Naomi came out at number 15. And obviously Bianca and Naomi teamed up. And there was this one point where Chelsea Green was trying to act all cool with Bianca, Naomi, Lash Legend, and also I believe it was Shayna Baszler. No. I'm sorry. It wasn't Shayna Baszler. It was Jada Parker. Yeah, she was trying to act all cool with the four of them, trying to act like she was like a part of their clique, a part of their crew. Kind of like how Sami Zayn was with the Bloodline initially, but then
Yeah,
they all
yeah.
beat her ass.
That's funny.
And one person who actually came out at one point where it was a surprise, but really not a surprise because of the reports we've been hearing in recent weeks, Jordan Grace who is now officially a part of WWE. And Michael Cole even said that on commentary. Jordynne Grace
Yeah.
came out, made a quick impression, and then her and Naomi actually faced off at one point, but they ended up hugging when they faced off with each other. But one person who was not happy with the fact that they were hugging was Bianca Belair. Bianca Belair literally snatched Jordynne Grace's hair as they were hugging and tried to throw her out. Damn, who knew Bianca was the jealous type?
Right.
Yeah, that's not a good look.
Yeah, moving forward, I would keep my eyes on that one.
Yeah, I mean, yo, Bianca, Naomi's allowed to have other friends. Doesn't mean she likes
Exactly.
you any less.
Right.
But I
But I
loved
did.
how Jordynne Grace picked up Piper Niven with the Death Valley Driver, like picked her up like she was nothing, picked her up like she was a freaking
Wow.
bag of groceries.
Yeah. And I know everybody's I know everybody's one appearance in that Royal Rumble was we're happy to see Trish Stratus.
Yes, Trish Stratus did come out in 25 looking good as ever. That woman does not age for shit. And I like that her outfit was kind of a throwback to her initial WWE debut in 2000.
Yeah, 25 years ago.
Yeah. So crazy. She debuted on of all shows Sunday Night Heat.
Hmm.
Yeah, strange, but that's another story. But another big surprise that we got in the Women's Royal Rumble, the return of Alexa Bliss.
Yes, we haven't seen in ages, man. How long has it been since we've seen her? A while, hasn't it?
The last time she appeared was the Royal Rumble 2 years ago, where she faced off with Bianca.
Wow. Crazy.
Yeah, so Alexa Bliss came out, got a crazy dope reaction, and it's so funny. There was like all those stories coming out in recent weeks that her and WWE didn't come to an agreement, like on a new contract, and that the deal fell apart and all that jazz. And then lo and behold, she shows up in the Women's Royal Rumble.
Yep.
Even Michael Cole and Wade Barrett were like mocking it on commentary. They were like, "But the internet said she wasn't coming. The internet said she wasn't coming. The dirt sheet said that she wasn't going to be here." Yeah, but apparently her and WWE actually came to an agreement that morning. She like re-signed the deal that morning, and then she ended up being in the match.
Good, good.
Yeah, really happy to see her. And then at one point we had Nia Jax come into the Women's Royal Rumble, and you knew shit was about to get real when Nia Jax came
Oh
in.
yeah. And she looked like at one point, I mean, I was impressed what she did because she had 8 eliminations in this match, Kurt.
Yeah, she
I
was.
thought she had 9 at first, but it was 8.
Yeah, she was exposing more bodies than the Predator, son.
Oh God.
Damn, but then as Nia Jax was dominating, number 30 would come out, and the number 30th entrant in the Women's Royal Rumble, although we might have thought it might have been one person or another person, that number 30th entrant turned out to be Nikki Bella.
Surprisingly, but she got a huge reaction when she came.
She got a good reaction. I remember she was on the Raw on Netflix a few weeks ago, and there were stories coming out that she was going to come back. And it's
Yeah.
looking like, from what's been reported since then, she's actually back full time. This wasn't just
Really?
a one off. Yeah, she's
Good.
back full
Okay.
time.
That's good.
Yeah, she had a good performance. I was actually talking about Nikki Bella on Wade Keller's show about the chances of her possibly being in the Rumble match. Obviously, I didn't want her to win, but her having a surprise appearance, I didn't have anything against. And yeah, she had a good performance here. And the Women's Rumble was very enjoyable. I enjoyed most of it, but this one part I'm about to get to, I really did not like. As one point, Raquel Rodriguez, Io Sky, Stephanie Valcour, Bianca Belair and Naomi were like all like trying to eliminate each other, and they were like all like on the apron at one point, and then Nia Jax just dunked them all out.
I wonder if that was all planned or if that was by mistake because
Yeah,
if it was a mistake, we're gonna see more of that in the men's coming up. But I get what you're saying. You know what I mean? To kind of like you're mostly eliminating all of your top women stars. You kind of like
and just so
wanted to have like their own spot, like in a
yeah,
different way to be eliminated.
it was just so unceremonious and like just so insignificant, like the way it happened.
All
It
at
was
once.
very underwhelming. Yeah,
I
very
understand.
underwhelming. I don't know if it was a mistake or it was like designed that way, but regardless, that was my only real complaint with Women's
Okay.
Royal Rumble. And
I
also one
haven't.
person we forgot to mention that did come out at one point at number 27, which is actually a very sweet spot for most Royal Rumble winners, the returning Charlotte Flair.
Yes, who we all picked to win and eventually
Yes,
did win.
yes, Charlotte Flair eventually did win after it came down to her, Nia Jax, and also Roxanne Perez,
Mm,
who in this Rumble match broke the record that Bayley set for last year for longest time in the Women's Rumble, 1 hour and 7 minutes.
wow. It's crazy. I thought it was going to come down to Charlotte Flair and Nia Jackson one on one, but it didn't. She ended up getting eliminated.
Yeah, Charlotte dunked out Nia Jax, and
Yeah.
then Roxanne Perez was like fighting Charlotte on the apron, and as she attempted to get back into the ring, Charlotte hit her with a big boot, which knocked her off the apron, and that was all she wrote. Charlotte Flair is the very first two-time Women's Royal Rumble winner, the winner for 2025, and has punched her ticket to WrestleMania against either Rhea Ripley or Tiffany Stratton.
Yep. We'll see what's going to happen. I predict that she may go against Tiffany Stratton. And by the looks of it, we'll talk about it more later on. We talk about Raw after this, but I'm predicting that she may pick Tiffany Stratton.
I think so too. I've been kind of seeing it go in that direction, and they're kind of parallel to each other with like the athletic ability, the gymnastics background, etc., the
Mm,
blonde hair.
mm,
So yeah, it's definitely kind of like a match made in heaven in a sense.
yeah.
And a lot of people were pissed off that Charlotte won. People were outraged and said it was the same shit. They're shoving Charlotte down our throats, etc., etc., etc. And hey, look, I'm not super thrilled that she won, but just considering the fact that she's been gone for over a year and this is her big comeback, I was kind of expecting her to win. So
Yeah. I
when you
picked
have
her
that
too. I don't.
expectation, yeah, when you have that expectation and when you kind of expect it to happen, it's like,
Yeah.
why are you going to get upset about it?
I mean, I don't know if I had to pick somebody else, then maybe Bianca Belair, because I still want to see Rhea Ripley and versus Bianca Belair at Mania.
Io Sky would have been nice too. Hell, even
Yeah.
Jordan Grace. Jordan Grace would have been like an out of nowhere winner, but
Yeah. Yeah. I would have been
Charlotte
completely okay with that.
But look, Charlotte is a big star. Regardless of whether or not you were a fan of hers or if she's your favorite, she is a big star and
And
she
she
has,
put on and she puts on good matches.
yeah, she earned those stripes. She earned the right to be where she's at today. And she earned the right to win a Women's Royal Rumble match. And I'm looking forward to seeing whatever match she does at WrestleMania because I know it is going to deliver.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but I mean, you can't please everybody. And look, I'll say myself, I wasn't as happy with this outcome to the Women's Rumble like I was last year when Bayley won, but it is what it is. We knew deep down this is what was going to happen. So, it happened. What the hell are we going to do about it?
Exactly.
So, yeah, Charlotte is your 2025 Women's Royal Rumble winner. And on to the next match for the WWE Tag Team Championship. And the first time these titles were defended since last year's WrestleMania on a PLE, we had DIY defending against the Motor City Machine Guns.
Best 2 out of 3 falls.
Yes, best 2 out of 3 falls. And DIY would win the first fall, first few minutes into the match. And
Mm.
then Motor City Machine Guns would pick up the second fall later on. And as the third fall was being decided, and we were getting closer towards the end, we had two men in black hoodies interfere in the match and attack the Motor City Machine Guns, and that would allow DIY to pick up the win with the meat in the middle and retain their titles. And then come to find out, those two masked men were Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins.
Ooh. Heel turn?
Well, it seemed like that at first, but then after the match, they attacked DIY. Yeah, that was a little confusing, but I'm happy to at least see them back. And it looks like they're going to
Yeah.
be in that tag team title mix going into
Yeah.
WrestleMania season.
I heard a rumor. I heard a prediction, sorry, from the Bleacher Report saying that it may be them three going at it for the tag titles and possibly a ladder match.
I would not be against that.
No, I wouldn't.
Yes, apparently Angelo Dawkins had been injured the last few weeks. He even came out with a crutch and used the crutch as a weapon during this spot. But
Mm.
I'm at least glad that they're back. It seemed like they were actually going to be somewhat involved in something, and we'll see where it goes. The tag division on SmackDown's been a lot more interesting in recent months. I'll give it that.
Oh yeah, I if I had to pick the tag division between Raw and SmackDown, I'm going with SmackDown.
Yeah, definitely. Much nicer
Yeah,
looking titles, too.
true. Yeah, yeah, definitely.
But speaking of ladder matches, that brings us to our next match. For the undisputed WWE Championship, we had Cody Rhodes defending his real legit version of the championship against Kevin Owens defending his wing eagled WWEshop.com version of the WWE
Which should be the
Championship.
permanent title, by the way, but that's a different story. But yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Um, New attire from Cody Rhodes. We used to seeing Cody Rhodes wearing the traditional red, white, and blue, but he was wearing the different colors with his attire now, and I dig it. And also, he did something that usually most superstars do in the ladder match before the match starts. He walks under the ladder, which to many people thinks that's bad luck, but to him, he doesn't believe in luck. So,
Hey, it worked for Razor Ramon at WrestleMania 10. Maybe it would work for
mm-hmm,
him here.
mm,
And I have to say, man, this match was freaking violent.
oh my god,
Oh my,
oh.
yo,
Oh,
I don't think I've cringed so many times in a ladder match, and I don't know how long or
I
ever.
think two spots. I think two spots where I kind of cringe. The part when um, Kevin Owens did the fisherman scoop slam onto the ladder.
Oh my god, that was so bad.
Wow.
That was so bad. I mean, it was an impressive move. It was an
Yeah,
impressive move. I'm not saying that, but
yeah,
yo, just the way that sounded, the way that looked. I'm
yeah.
like, oh my god, how are these dudes even gonna be able to stand
I don't
tomorrow
even
or
know
the
how
day
Kevin
after?
Owens was standing after Cody Rhodes did a backflip drop onto the ladder.
Or when he back body dropped him on
Kevin,
like kind of like the edge of
yes,
the
on
ladder,
the edge of the
standing up.
ladder. Yeah.
Yo,
Mm-hmm.
Kevin Owens lets his body take a beating. Not even just in this match, but in other matches I've seen him in. Like, I remember that time at Royal Rumble 2021 where Roman hit him with the golf cart.
Oh, that one.
And
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yo, that looked so nasty. So freaking nasty.
Hey
And
man,
so did this. So did
Kevin Owens
this.
puts on a damn good show whenever he's in a title match at these events.
Just in general, he's one of the unsung MVPs of this company, and he definitely showed it in
Yeah,
this match with some of the bumps he took.
yeah.
Golly. And it even
Jeez, but
got bad to the point where Sami Zayn came out actually to check on him.
we see. So we both agreed that he was going to make his presence felt, and he did. But it was weird because like he didn't do anything. I watched that, and it was kind of like I there for support, moral support. You know what I mean, to make sure everybody was okay, but I was expecting that, oh, he was going to interfere or do something, and he did it. So I look back at that. I was kind of like, what was the whole point of him being there?
I think we'll get to that probably as the weeks go on. But
Yeah. And then when I
yes,
watched Raw, I was kind of like, okay, kind of see the point. But at that time, at that moment, I was kind of like, that was a bit weird. But talk about the brutal spot. I think the most brutal spot that we saw in that entire match was when Cody Rhodes did the Alabama Slammer to Kevin Owens onto the ladder.
yes, Kevin Owens attempted the package pile driver on the Cody on the
Hmm.
announce table,
I
but
like
then
that move,
Cody
by the way.
reversed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cody reversed it into the Alabama slam through the freaking ladder. Not
Dude,
on the ladder, through the ladder. My
he
God.
got folded. In the immortal words of JR, Kevin Owens got folded like a accordion. Literally, he got folded. He was just like bent in, just and let's not forget he was bleeding prior to that.
Yes, he was. But considering that spot and the other spots that happened in this match, I think the bleeding was probably the least of his worries.
True, but that spot, oh my god, that man.
Yeah. And I really did not think he was going to get up from that. I
No,
figured he was done.
hell
And
no,
lo
he
and
was.
behold,
Yeah,
I was right because after that spot, Cody Rhodes proceeded to climb up the ladder, grab both championships, and Cody Rhodes retains the WWE Championship. And arguably, I might have to say, his best title defense since he's been champion.
I agree. I agree. By far, We'll see what's going to happen going into Mania, though. But by far, this was his best story feud, and best title defense by
Yeah,
far.
yeah, there's definitely more than delivered. It was a great cap off to this feud. And Cody
Mhm.
Rhodes said he's going to talk about the state of his condition following this match on SmackDown Friday.
Yeah, they were saying how just badly injured for the match, and
I could see that.
yeah.
And Kevin Owens, especially. Kevin Owens, I'm really
Ooh.
concerned about after, some of the things I saw him doing this match.
True, and then as we get into later, when we talk about Raw, I'll be really surprised after what happened. But yeah, my hats off to both of them. That's one hell of a match that we saw for the Royal Rumble, and yeah, just
I remember the Benoit and Jericho ladder match from the '01 Royal
mm,
Rumble. That match
mm-hmm,
was super violent, and
mm.
I think this one probably stepped the violence up times 10.
Yeah, that
Shit.
one, and also you want to talk about the I Quit match between The Rock and Mankind, how violent that match was as well.
Yeah, but I'm referring more to ladder
Oh,
matches since we're
ladder
talking
matches,
about
I know,
a ladder
but
match.
still, but I mean, but yeah, that was a great match, though. Just great match.
Yeah, now that
So
I
that,
think about that, it's so crazy that Razor Ramon and Shawn Michaels were doing their ladder matches on house shows like night after night, even before WrestleMania 10.
yeah, I wonder
Imagine
how,
doing those crazy spots like on a nightly basis for like months
yeah,
at a time.
I wonder how those turned out to be.
There's
That'd be
actually
really
footage
funny.
of
There
there's
is. I
actually
was about to
footage of
ask you, was there footage?
there's footage of some of their ladder matches on YouTube.
Hmm.
There's like
Okay.
one from like January of '94, like even before the Royal Rumble. Yeah, you'll
Mm-hmm.
have the whole match on there.
Okay. Interesting.
Yes, but Cody Rhodes retained the title, so Cody Rhodes is definitely going to be the champion going into WrestleMania. No surprise, but match still delivered anyway at the end of the day, and that's all we
Yeah.
can ask for.
And then him and Gunther will be awaiting who will win the men's Royal Rumble match, as what we're about to get into right now. And I love the first two entrants for that match, because number one entrance was Rey Mysterio and number two was Penta.
Yes, yes. They could not have picked a better number one and two than these two.
Yeah, just like last year, how they did Jimmy and Jey Uso for number one and two last year, and they did again hit the ball with this one.
Yeah, even though we only got to really see them go at it for a few minutes, it was still great to watch it while it lasted. And then Carmelo Hayes would come out, your personal favorite.
I'm sorry.
And then Carmelo Hayes would come out, your personal favorite. And to no surprise, he was the first person eliminated.
Yeah.
Yeah, people are going to be coming at Triple H a lot more now for those
Oh
whole,
Lord,
like,
I know, because
not
it was
using
the
black
first day of
wrestlers.
Black History Month, and Carmelo Hayes was the first person eliminated. Like, Lord, is like,
And
stop,
not even just that,
stop.
and not even just that, there was only two black people in the whole Royal Rumble match, that being Carmelo Hayes and the next person we're about to talk about, streamer I Show Speed.
Yeah, which was so
Who we
odd because
remember who we
yeah,
remember from last year's WrestleMania where he got laid out by Randy Orton.
yeah, that was just a weird, very weird how that whole situation started, because Carmelo Hayes takes out what's his name,
Tozawa.
Tozawa, and then everybody in the back is wondering, oh, Triple H is like, what are we gonna do? I show you're up, you're next. I was like, what? And then he goes up there next, and he wasn't even in there. He was in there like what, a minute, and in that spot, which people are to this day are still talking about, how Braun Breaker spears the hell out of I Show. My God.
Yeah, he speared the hell out of him.
Ooh.
Probably
And
broke his ass in half.
knocked him in tomorrow. And there's photos of him. He was in a neck brace and a crutch and all that stuff. I was like, my God. I was like, just,
Yeah, he got speared like a motherfucker by Braun Breaker, and then
yeah.
Braun Breaker tossed him out onto Otis, and Otis just
Mm-hmm.
tossed him over the announce table.
Yeah.
Hey, look, I have to give the guy credit. He was willing to go out there and take the beating that he did. And
Yeah,
considering the fact that he doesn't have to do that, yo,
he
I can't
did.
hate on the dude. I can't hate on the
No,
dude.
no. But speaking of Braun Breaker though, man, I loved his performance.
Yeah, Braun Breaker definitely showed out in this match. He definitely had
Definitely.
some good eliminations.
Oh my
But one
god.
person who also raised hell in this Royal Rumble match was Jacob
Like a
Fatu.
Fatu. Oh my lord. As soon as he came in there and he cleared house, it just did damage. And I loved, oh my God, I love, there was so many epic one-on-one showdowns throughout that whole match. You had the one between Jacob Fatu and Braun Breaker, and I was dying to see these two go at it, but it got broken up by everybody else. My God, we saw one, of course, we saw Penta and Rey Mysterio. I'm trying to remember what else one-on-one showdowns that we saw. Um, we saw Jacob Fatu and
Well,
Penta. They had a
yes, we
one-on-one
did.
showdown. Yes.
And as Jacob Fatu was raising hell in the Royal Rumble match, it would pick up even more as Roman Reigns would come out.
Yes.
Yes, Roman Reigns came out. Him and Jacob Fatu went at it for a little bit. Roman Reigns had some eliminations. Shit was
Mhm.
going well for him. And then we had some other people come in, such as Sami Zayn, Drew McIntyre. And at number 21, a very surprise return, the return of AJ
In
Styles,
his original
which I did
theme
not see.
song.
Yes, his original theme music is back, and
Yes,
he's
thank
back
God.
too.
Thank
I thought he
God.
was gonna be out for like a year from like how he was describing his
Yeah.
injury. I thought he was gonna be out,
I
yeah, for a long time.
I was hearing a little rumor before the event that he may be there, so it really didn't surprise me though. But yeah, I was happy to see him. Was really happy that he brought his old theme song back. Um, oh, I forgot another one-on-one showdown. Roman Reigns and Braun Breaker had one, and it looked like who was going to get the spear first, but Braun Breaker speared the hell out of Roman Reigns. Looked like he was about to eliminate him, but he counters it, and Roman sadly eliminates Braun Breaker. It was sad to see, man. I was like, damn it, I wish Braun Breaker was in that match just a little bit longer. Just a little bit longer.
Yeah, Roman basically tossed out Braun Breaker saying, I own this place, bro. You just live here.
Yeah, even though you did get that one hell of a spear on me, though, but damn, no. That that was a that's one of the reasons why I love the Royal Rumble. You know what I mean? You see these epic one-on-one showdowns that you think you'll never see before, and you're like, oh, that's a matchmaker right there in the future. You know?
Yeah, definitely. And as the Rumble went on in the 20s, we had all the major names come out from John Cena, CM Punk,
Yes.
Seth Rollins, LA
Mm-hmm.
Knight, Damian Priest. Hell, even Dominic came through. Jesse
Oh.
Ventura's personal favorite.
Man, what do you thought about that three-way showdown between CM Punk, John Cena, and Roman Reigns? What do you thought about that? Epic.
It just didn't last long enough.
I know.
Yeah, that was my
I
thing.
know.
It didn't. I liked it for the time it was there, but it just didn't last long enough.
Yeah. Yep.
Yes, and number 30 would come out, and oh joy, happy day! Guess who number 30 was? It was none other than
Your mortal enemy.
my mortal enemy, the one, the only, the douchebag fuck, Logan Paul.
Yeah, and I hate him more now than ever, and I understand why you hate this man, which we'll get into later.
Yeah,
So,
he got the reaction from the audience that is very worthy of somebody who is a douchebag fuck.
exactly. Before I say anything else, whoever was the cameraman in that match, he deserves a damn raise because when Seth Rollins takes everybody out, that camera angle where Roman Reigns is literally in the corner right behind Seth Rollins was just genius. Seth Rollins just minding his own business, and Roman Reigns is right behind him. Like it's like you're watching National Geographic. That was what I was
Yeah,
feeling. Just like he was just looking at his prey and just about to attack and stalk Seth Rollins, man. And those two went at it, and they look like they're about to eliminate each other, but they're over to the top rope, and as out of nowhere, CM Punk eliminates both Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns.
yeah, I didn't see that coming, but damn, he
No,
got them both. He got them both.
Exactly. And then what surprised the hell out of me, as soon as CM Punk eliminates both of them, your mortal enemy, Logan Paul, eliminates my boy CM Punk.
Ugh.
And yeah, I was pretty
Ugh.
pissed about that.
I
I
was bummed out too. Yeah, that kind of took the wind out of me for this Rumble match.
I know stuff happens in the Rumble. I know stuff happens in Rumble, but that right there, that oh,
Yeah, because
got
he
me
was our
heated.
pick. He was our
Yeah.
pick, and we figured that with the momentum he's had the last few months, like this was his year. This was his time to
Yes.
main event WrestleMania, and for him to get eliminated by
The
Logan
thing is,
Paul
if
of
you
all
get
people.
eliminated, like I would rather see him get eliminated by Drew McIntyre or anybody else or Seth Rollins, but you get eliminated by Logan Paul of all people? Come
Oh yeah, that's
on.
one person we actually forgot to mention, Drew McIntyre. Drew
Yeah.
McIntyre out of nowhere was just randomly like, kind of eliminated by Damian Priest and kind of
Weird.
LA
It
Knight
was
and LA Knight kind of got in the way of it. And then yeah,
yeah.
Damian Priest just like kind of unceremoniously eliminated Drew
Mm-hmm.
McIntyre. And Drew McIntyre looked pissed after that
Storm.
elimination.
Yeah, and reports after that saying that he stormed. He was screaming, just yelling backstage, and he stormed out of the stadium, just not happy. And we're just wondering what was going on. And we look at the footage. Logan Paul is kind of like looking at the camera, and then LA Knight's like in front of this. So they're kind of like taking like that camera time, and they're kind of like taking that momentum, that elimination away from Drew McIntyre. Supposedly he was supposed to make an elimination. And then apparently Damian Priest got in the way. LA Knight was in the way. So in that situation, like who was Drew really mad at? Was he mad at Damian Priest or was he mad at LA Knight?
Possibly LA Knight, but we'll get into more of this in a few minutes. But yeah, apparently Drew McIntyre stormed out of the arena before the show even ended. And
Yeah.
yeah, he was legit pissed off. Like it was not a part of the storyline. He was legit angry. Like when you see the look on his
Yeah.
face after he gets dunked out.
Yeah. Man.
But yeah, what made us angry was CM Punk getting eliminated the way he did. And then
Mm-hmm.
CM Punk and Seth Rollins get into a brawl outside the ring. And then Seth Rollins hits Roman Reigns with a curb stomp on the floor. And then he gets in
Both
Paul
feet,
Heyman's
Kurt.
face.
Both feet.
Damn.
I thought it was just it was just a regular curb stomp. When I look back at the footage and look back where everybody else was saying on social media, it was both feet.
Yeah, it was ugly. He did that. He got into Heyman's face. He flipped off Heyman. And then he
Yeah,
proceeded to hit Roman with another curb stop
on
onto
the
the
steel
steel
steps.
steps. Fuck.
Wow.
So I think we know what match we're getting at WrestleMania now.
True, and I like it. And I'll get into this later, but some people are saying, "Oh, this match should happen," and I will veto the hell of it because that's a big no for me because it makes no sense. But what you're referring to, Kurt, that's the one that I want to see because after what was played out during that match, before and after the elimination, what I saw was 11 years in the making. And this needs to end at WrestleMania. It is the perfect way to end it because of the history between these two and what just happened that night.
And not to mention how Roman lost the title at WrestleMania last year.
Yes, this whole history, 11 years in the making, man. This all goes back to the Shield and it needs to end at WrestleMania.
Yeah. From the breakup of the Shield to the
Mm-hmm.
way Rollins cashed in Money in the Bank at
Mm-hmm.
WrestleMania the next year to win the title.
Yes.
And then Rollins beat him for the title the next year at that Money in the Bank show.
Yes.
And they had that match at Royal Rumble a couple years ago where like it was a disqualification finish.
And never
And then
finished it. And they never
yeah.
finished it. And it was a
And then
great
last
ending. But
year And then
yeah.
last year at WrestleMania, Seth Rollins' involvement in the Roman and Cody match that ultimately led to Cody winning. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's definitely coming full circle, and I look forward to seeing what they do to build this as we get to WrestleMania.
Yeah, I'm very interested to see what they're going to be doing. I think I have an idea of what's going to happen though, but I'll get into that later though. But yeah, that's just crazy nonsense that happened outside of the
Yes,
complete chaos.
But what was not crazy nonsense was the fact that that douchebag fuck Logan Paul eventually did get eliminated by John Cena,
Thank
sent his
God.
ass to the floor where he belongs,
Mhm.
and it was down to John Cena and Jey Uso.
Yes. And these two went at it, punching each other back and forth, and who was going to get that leverage. And they're both outside the ring. Jey Uso super kicks John Cena. He looked like he's hanging on the thread on the top rope outside the ring. You're just at the edge of your seat. What's going to happen? And then John Cena picks Jey Uso up for an attitude adjustment, but then he goes inside the ring and he pushes John Cena outside the ring, both feet landing the floor in shock. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, main event Jey Uso is your men's 2025 Royal Rumble winner. He is going to Las Vegas and he's going to WrestleMania.
I'm surprised,
Me
but I'm
too.
also not surprised
Really?
because I remember the promo he cut last week on Raw talking about how like he knows he could beat Gunther, he knows he could beat him. And I was saying to myself, he probably won't win the Royal Rumble, but there's a chance that he possibly could. There's a small chance, but a chance nonetheless. And considering his popularity, how white hot he is right now with the audience, it's not something too far fetched. And while it is a surprise, definitely not who I predicted to win, I can't say I hate the move. I can't say that it was a bad move.
I don't hate the move either. I'm happy for him, but I was surprised. I did not expect Jey Uso to win. And this, you got to think about it like this. This goes good on his resume as a singles competitor. I wanted him to win the Money in the Bank last year, but he didn't. So far, he's been Intercontinental Champion, which sadly that title reign wasn't that long. But
Only
yes,
a
him
month.
with Royal. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it was only like 1 month.
Yeah, but him winning the Royal Rumble is good on his resume. Like you said, he is very white hot with the fans, and that's good. And he could add another resume where he could join his three other family members in the Hanoi family that has won the Royal Rumble. Yokozuna back in 1993, The Rock
Yeah.
in 2000, Roman Reigns 10 years ago, 2015, and now him.
That I just did that wasn't against Yokozuna. That was just against that '93 Rumble because you know how I feel about that show
Oh,
and that Rumble.
the whole event or just the Rumble match itself?
Mainly that Rumble match, but yeah, mostly that event isn't that great.
Yeah, I know, but still
I
though,
even
as
made
an
a joke
accomplished.
about it. I even made a joke about it on Wade Keller's show. We were talking
Oh,
about like going to binge watch old Royal Rumbles. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna go binge watch some old Royal Rumbles. Hope y'all too, but just skip 1993.
but yeah, though, like I said, man, it is a surprise, and to most people, some people are not with it. And look, I want to see him Punk to win though, but hey, I mean, you kind of want new people to win this event. I really want to see him Punk to win because of the momentum that he had and what he's been saying in his promos. How his goal now is to main event WrestleMania, none other. And I thought he was going to get it done. I'm not saying that he still can't get it done, but I really thought it was going to be Punk's moment. But hey, Jey Uso earned it and he deserves it. But I do say this moving forward. It is most likely that he will challenge Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania. It's a bit odd how you book a match between those two on Saturday night's main event and then Gunther beats him cleanly and now you're pretty much having a rematch again, which is a bit odd to me, especially when
Yeah,
they've been doing the good promos amongst each other. You know what I mean? But you had that one off match, and now you're gonna go back. If Jey Uso does not win that match at WrestleMania, I'm gonna look back at that WrestleMania as if like I was kind of like a wasted time, a wasted opportunity to do that. But we don't know
he,
what's gonna happen.
yeah, that's kind of what made me think that he wasn't gonna win was the fact that he lost to Gunther at Saturday
Yeah,
night's main event like so decisively.
right.
But I was thinking like with the story they were playing about him losing so much that they would eventually get back to it. But I just didn't expect it to happen this soon and for him to
Hmm.
win the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is
Now,
definitely one of the more surprising Royal Rumble wins in a very long time.
true, true. And now with this, it's like now you have to get the job done now because it's like you didn't get it done earlier. You know what I mean? You know the history between him and Gunther. They even went at it for the Intercontinental title like a year and a half ago. You know what I mean? And Jay didn't beat him. And then you have that match at Saturday night's main event. Now you do this. So it's kind of like, all right, if you're gonna have Jey Uso to win the Royal Rumble, you better, finish it off in the right way.
Yeah, we still have a good 2 months or so until we get to that point. We have a
Mm-hmm.
long time to build to WrestleMania, but just getting into the Jey Uso winning the Royal Rumble thing, I'm genuinely happy for him because we've seen like the work he's done over the last few years with the bloodline story and then
Yeah.
breaking out on his own and having the momentum he's had recently and the crowd reactions he gets and like how he's like number one in merchandise sales, even surpassing Roman and Cody and Punk and all these other people. Yo, the dude definitely deserved to get elevated to that next level. And while we may not have expected it to happen here and now, you can't be anything but happy for the dude.
Eventually you had to do it
Especially
now. I mean, when? I mean, if
yeah,
not.
yeah, especially after like he had his son out there celebrating with him, and that footage we saw afterwards of Jimmy Uso and Jacob Fatu congratulating him afterwards. Yo, the dude's put
Yeah.
in work. The dude has definitely earned his stripes and earned the spot that he's in right now. And it's
Yeah.
so funny. The same thing people were so upset about with the women's World Rumble outcome, how Charlotte was predictable. Charlotte always wins. It's always the same shit. In the men's World Rumble, we got a surprise outcome. We got somebody new getting a chance and new being anointed, and people are mad at that.
Hey, you can't please wrestling fans. I mean, we're toxic. I mean, not us, but there's no pleasing us wrestling fans. It's like we ask for something, we get it, we're still complaining. Come on.
And look, me personally, I'm not mad at either Royal Rumble winner. Was there
No,
maybe
I'm not. I
somebody else
just
I would have preferred to win over them? Sure. But the fact that those two were the ones who won, there's no reason for me to be upset about it, throw a fit about it, and have a meltdown about it. Yeah, these are two people who are deserving and two people who I think will put on quality championship matches at WrestleMania.
I agree. And even at the press conference after the event, Jey Uso stated that he wants another crack at Gunther.
Yeah, it's basically going to go in that direction, especially what we saw last night on Raw with the segment they had. Yeah, it's definitely going to be Gunther and Jey
Playing as
Uso
off
at
like, look,
WrestleMania.
I'm gonna go on SmackDown and holler at Cody, but we all know he's gonna pick Gunther. I mean, why would he pick
He's
Cody?
only gonna he's only gonna go on SmackDown and meet Cody so he can hang out in his bus because he has video games and big satellite TV in there.
Yeah, Charlotte's gonna do the same thing. Even though she had
Yeah,
that segment with Rhea Ripley.
yeah. I mean, they were teasing that last night with Rhea
Mm-hmm.
saying, "I hope you pick me. I hope you pick me, so I could prove once again that the first time was not a fluke." Because they're tied for WrestleMania matches against each other.
Hey, and I ain't gonna lie. Look, I ain't gonna lie. Listen, 3 times, I wouldn't mind it. I don't mind it. We've seen this with Stone Cold and The Rock at WrestleMania 3 times. I kind of don't mind it, but I kind of still sticking to Charlotte Flair and Tiffany Stratton.
Yep. I think it's definitely going in that direction. And considering the reaction Charlotte got on Raw last night, even though she tried to like pour her heart out about how she's been gone for a year and she dealt with like all the personal issues in that time frame, and the crowd still booed her ass anyway, I think she's going
Mm.
to be the heel in that storyline. Yeah, because we've been talking about that on Wade Keller's show about like who would be the heel and who would be the face in that Charlotte and Tiffany Stratton feud, but I think
Yeah,
now we have our answer.
true. Yeah, and she does
Yes,
better as a heel. If I'm being honest.
yeah, I agree. But I did like when Jimmy Uso came out. I'm sorry, but I did like when Jey Uso came out on Raw last night. He had did that whole entrance for like a good 7 minutes or so. It was great. It always is great. But I just really liked how he like really poured his heart out like in his promo. Like you could like tell by like how hard it was for him to get the words out and like the expression on his face, how he was practically crying. That like, yo, this means a lot to him, and this was like a big moment for him. And we've
Hmm.
seen him from that initial storyline with Roman, like during the pandemic when they went against each other at those two PLEs, to him and Jimmy having that long title reign and the stuff he was doing with Sami Zayn during that time, and then eventually breaking away from Roman and going solo, and just how poppin' and how popular he's been since then. Yo, it's hard to not be happy for somebody like that, especially from the reaction he gave and the emotions he was, letting out in the promo. Yo, like, how can you not be happy and thrilled for somebody like that getting a shot?
True. Couldn't disagree with that.
Yeah, but one person who was not happy with this was the world heavyweight champion Gunther, and he basically came out and said, like, beating you at WrestleMania after I've already beaten you so many times, it does nothing for my legacy. If I beat John Cena or Roman Reigns, that would be different. But your ass again, the hell does that do for me?
Like I said, man, they need to plan this out good and end this good. That's the thing. End it good. If you're gonna go
And
on this
then
route.
Gunther said, if you choose me, I'm going to make your life a living hell between now and WrestleMania. And then once
Mm,
WrestleMania comes, I'm going to finish your ass off for good.
mm.
So, yeah, this is the championship match we're getting at WrestleMania.
Yep.
No debate about it.
Nope.
But since more than likely Jey Uso will pick Gunther to challenge at WrestleMania, that leaves the WWE champion Cody Rhodes without an opponent as of now. But that opponent for WrestleMania will be decided in the Elimination Chamber on March
Yes.
1st from Toronto, Canada. And one person who's already entered the Elimination Chamber after his defeat in the Royal Rumble match is John Cena.
Yeah, and during the press conference, he gave an emotional, powerful, um, um, promo speech. I'm sorry, during that press conference, talking about how I've been here for so many years, and I need to do this. I need to main event WrestleMania. I need to win my 17th World Championship. And he said he's going to enter himself in the Elimination Chamber. He's going to win. He's going to go to WrestleMania. He's going to win the 17th. He's going to win the championship for the 17th time. So later on, he could shake hands with the guy who will win his 18th championship. And that was very powerful, motivating speech that he said. That's like, whoa, oh, that unpredictability that I'm talking about, man, because we talk about how CM Punk wants the main event, but it's like we can't leave out John Cena. This is his last year. He wants to accomplish that. Out of all the things that he wants to do, of course he wants to, be in a moment, have these matches. But I think the one thing that he just wants so badly, Kurt, he wants to win a championship for the 17th time. He wants to break Ric Flair's record. That's what he really wants to do. In his last WrestleMania this year.
Are we talking about Ric Flair's championship record or Ric Flair's record for the amount of Mai Tais he can drink in 1 hour?
I think we both know what we're talking about though, but still, that's very motivating, man. And like I said, unpredictability, and it makes you sit back and like, man, we still don't know what the hell's going to happen.
One person who was not motivated by John Cena's speech, as great as it was CM Punk, because CM
Well, of
Punk
course.
was in a qualifying match for the Elimination Chamber last night against Sami Zayn. And before the match, he was talking about like how John Cena just entered himself in the chamber, and he's like, what the hell?
I'm just
So
going to earn it.
Yeah, he was like, yo, John Cena's just going to put himself into the match. He's not going to earn it. He's not going to do a qualifying match. He's just going to show up like once a month and then automatically he's in the match. What kind of bullshit is that?
Hey, man, that rivalry has not died off.
No, it is not.
Oh, man, CM Punk and John Cena will go down as one of the greatest rivalries in WWE history.
Absolutely, and hopefully we'll get to see him mix it up a few times before
predicted.
that 1 year of Cena's retirement is up.
Yeah,
And
I have a prediction that may possibly happen that I would like to see. That hardly anybody is talking about. So CM Punk did get the win over Sami Zayn. That was a very good match. And also, I really like the fact that Punk was on Raw again, because we rarely see him on Raw wrestling, you know what I mean? A great match between him and Sami Zayn. But and right after the match, CM Punk did shake hands with Sami Zayn, but right after that, Kevin Owens shows up. I don't know how the hell he had the energy or the strength to show up, but he showed up and he attacked Sami Zayn, giving him a package pile driver, and just wow.
Yeah, it was nasty, bro. So this basically is gonna write off Sami Zayn off TV for the next few weeks. So I
Mm.
think Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens is our WrestleMania match.
Yeah, I was thinking about that though, but then I heard a little rumor like, what if it's Randy Orton versus Kevin Owens? I mean, I was like, I don't mind that either, but we'll see what happens.
Well, with the fact that Kevin Owens did that package pile driver to Sami here, Sami's probably gonna be off TV for the next few weeks.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll come back at Elimination Chamber, but I don't see him like from that angle last night being back in time for a match with KO at Elimination Chamber.
And let's not forget another person who's going to be gone for a while is Roman Reigns, as it was reported due to the attacks from Seth Rollins. He's going to be gone for the foreseeable future. So, with
That
that
means only
news,
1
we
month.
already know, huh?
So that means
What?
only 1 month.
Exactly. So, okay, back to Punk. Punk wins, so he's now entered himself in Elimination Chamber along with John Cena. So now I don't mind seeing this. I would love to see this. I don't mind seeing Cody Rhodes versus CM Punk versus John Cena in a triple threat at Mania.
That would be great. That I would not
That
mind
would
that.
be epic. I would not mind seeing that. I will love that.
I was hearing people say that it's probably going to be Punk, Roman, and Rollins in a three-way,
No.
but that
That's the
makes no
one.
sense.
No, it doesn't make any sense because for one, okay, when you do a match with more than two people, like a triple threat or a fatal four way, you're obviously are competing for a goal, either for a championship or for number one contendership. Those three are not competing for any championships or number one contenderships. So why the hell would you even have the idea, oh, it should be Punk, Rollins, and Roman? Why? What are they competing for? Nothing. What are they competing for? What's the goal? What, because they're hatred for one another? That's not logical. And let's not forget, Kurt, ever since CM Punk's and Drew McIntyre's feud was over, what was the main goal that Punk wanted to do? He wanted a main event WrestleMania. And let's not forget that the two favors that he had asked for Paul Heyman, which he still hasn't been um still hasn't been, settled in yet, whatever, but it makes no sense. Why the hell would you even come up with an idea like that? Oh, them three. They're not fighting for anything. That it
Yeah,
makes
that
zero
doesn't sound
sense.
like a yeah, that doesn't sound like a logical idea for WrestleMania. I think Roman and Seth in a singles match is perfect.
Yes.
They have a
Yes.
ready-made story. Yeah, adding
Mm-hmm.
Punk to that for a three-way, it just makes it too much going on
Weird.
at once. Yeah, too
Yeah.
much.
It's like it makes zero sense. And like I said, and Seth Rollins before Punk's and Sami Zayn's match, Seth Rollins cut a segment, pretty much talk about how, okay, Punk, I lost the Royal Rumble. He only talked about that briefly though, but who did he really talk about the most in that segment? He talked about Roman Reigns more.
Yeah, he was very salty about Roman Reigns, like a bitter ex, like that bitter ex who just
And
can't get
it's
over it.
funny. It's funny how he talked about how the past 4 years I've been trying to, Roman Reigns is this and blah 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 and all that. Well, guess what, Seth? This is what makes this feud very good because Roman to this day has not forget or forgave Seth Rollins for what he did to him back in 2014 when he turned his back on the Shield.
Yeah, Roman probably still has a scar on his back from that chair shot.
Of course, you go back to WrestleMania last year. Who did Roman Reigns? He had a steel chair. Who did he hit first? He had an opportunity to hit Cody, but who did he hit first? He hit Seth Rollins, which cost him the match.
Yes, he did. So yeah,
Yeah.
this is coming full circle. I definitely look forward to seeing what they build for this feud.
Yes.
Honestly, from what we saw coming out of the Royal Rumble, I think this feud has the most potential to
Yes.
outshine the other ones.
Yes, I absolutely. And what I think what's going to happen, because it was Seth Rollins said he's going to have a qualifying match in the next couple of weeks. He is
With
going
Finn
to
Balor.
qualify. Yeah, he's going to qualify. He's going to be in that match. But I think Kurt Roman's going to cost him that match in the Elimination Chamber,
Very possible.
because
Very,
he's going
very
to be gone
possible.
for the foreseeable future, right? He's not going to make the Elimination Chamber, but he will be there. He will cost Seth Rollins the match. Watch.
Yes, and fingers crossed, somehow, some way, Punk still finds his way to be in the main event of WrestleMania
I
because
wonder how
it
they're going to
just
do that.
it wouldn't feel
I
right if he's not. It really would not feel right if he's
It
not in it.
wouldn't, because you've been talking about being in the main event for the longest time. This is kind of like your only opportunity to do it. If not now, then when? It wouldn't seem right to wait till next year. No, this is now is the time to do it. But I think what's going to happen is, I think, I hate to say it, a part of me thinks that John Cena is going to win, and then Punk is going to use that favor from Heyman to put him in the main event. I think that's one of the favors, Kurt.
It could be. Yeah, it could be anything. I thought it was going to be to get him the 30 spot in the Royal Rumble. I thought it
Oh,
was maybe to get him like some free muffins from that place he likes so much in Chicago,
or
but
donuts.
maybe it'll be, yeah, whatever the fuck he likes to eat. But yeah, hopefully he still finds a way to make his way into the main event. But it still looks good
Yeah,
because he's in the chamber match along with so far John Cena and more
yeah.
people still to come. And we do have
Mhm.
Finn Balor and Seth Rollins set to face each other soon for another qualifier to be in the
Yep.
match. And next week
And
on Raw, we're gonna have the douchebag fuck Logan Paul against Rey
Rey
Mysterio.
Mysterio. Yep. And Rey
And
Mysterio and
Logan,
Dragon Lee, that night they had a tag team match against Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston. And thank God, finally, Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods finally got a win. Finally.
yeah, thanks to Logan Paul's interference. And
Still.
New Day now has new theme music and also new gear.
Yeah, it's funny how they won that match, which was good, but also they got more heat on them because it was dissing the Cleveland crowd. Because apparently, for you football fans out there, that same day earlier, it was reported that Miles Garrett, who is a defensive tackle for the Cleveland Browns, talk about he wants a trade. And pretty much, Kofi, Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods was dissing the crowd, saying how, we see why Miles Garrett wants to leave the city. Yeah, a lot of heat, but good heat though.
I thought he was going to say they should move the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame to another place worthy of it, but I guess he went in that direction.
Oh God, but
Yeah,
no,
but I
you got
like
to
that they
diss their
have.
teams.
Yeah, but I like that they have new gear, that they have new theme music, a new presentation, and more than anything, I'm happy
Mm-hmm.
that they finally won a fucking match.
Yeah,
About time.
damn,
Yeah,
you
so
got to.
Logan.
That's what I'm saying, man. You got to get a win, dude. It was like, damn, I ain't gonna take you
So
guys seriously if you ain't winning.
yeah, about time. But Logan Paul did cost Ray the match. They'll be facing each other in the other qualifying match next week. And we also have some women's
Mm-hmm.
qualifying matches and one that took place last night on Raw. We had a great match between Io Sky and Liv Morgan. And then
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Raquel Rodriguez actually came out to interfere on Liv's behalf, but then
Mm-hmm.
Rhea Ripley came out to even the odds. And then Liv Morgan was
Mm-hmm.
like attacking Rhea Ripley. And in defense, Rhea Ripley hit Liv Morgan, but this did happen in front of the referee. So Io Sky did get disqualified, and Liv Morgan is now going to the Elimination Chamber.
I feel bad for Yo Sky, man, because of the interference from Rhea Ripley, disqualification, Liv Morgan's in. And then even though Rhea Ripley's attention was to help Io Sky, it didn't really help out in a way. So it was very disappointing for Io Sky.
Yeah, and she did not look happy afterwards. Her and Rhea Ripley kind of got into it after the match, and then Io Sky just kind of stormed off. You couldn't really understand what she was saying. She was speaking Japanese, but you could definitely tell if they had some subtitles, she'd be saying, "Stay the fuck out of
Oh,
my business."
oof.
So I do think we get that match possibly at WrestleMania, Io Sky and Rhea.
Really?
I kind of predicted that a few months ago, like when they had that brief stare down where they held the belt up, like before Saturday night's main
Mm-hmm.
event, the first one. And I predicted that
Mm-hmm.
Io would possibly win the Royal Rumble last week, even though she didn't win. And from this happening on Raw Monday, I think it's definitely a direction they could go in.
Okay.
Maybe they'll have the match at WrestleMania, or maybe if not, they'll have the match at Elimination Chamber. But I do think that's going to
That's
be a
what I was
match
gonna
we get
pick. Yeah.
from.
That I mean, I'm still like clinging on to Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair, but we'll see what happens though. But yeah,
Yeah, I don't know about Bianca in that situation anymore because Jade Cargill still didn't come back. I thought she was going to come back in the Rumble, but she didn't come back. And just from
mm-hmm.
her reaction when Jordan Grace hugged Naomi, I think they're probably going to possibly go somewhere with that too.
Not a good look.
Yeah, bro, who knew Bianca was the jealous type? Imagine what she would do if another
Right.
girl hugged Montez Ford.
That's different now. This is man, but like still, we're talking about another friend, a female friend. Like, come on now.
Madness.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll see how that plays out. I still do think it is going to be revealed that Naomi did it, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
Yeah.
But they're dropping those titles soon. They're dropping those titles soon to Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. It's
Oh yeah.
inevitable.
Oh yeah. Like I said, those two are perfect to win those tag titles moving forward. So
Yes. And also
yeah.
another qualifying match we're going to get next week on Raw. We're going to get Bayley against Lyra Valkyria.
Right. Right.
And possibly we'll see Becky Lynch back soon. Maybe she'll be in one of the qualifying matches and she'll be added to it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, only time will tell. But yeah, Raw was a pretty good show last night. I think we got a lot of answers as
Very
far
good.
as where we're going for WrestleMania. Yeah, they built a lot of angles pretty well. And hopefully they can keep that same momentum going into SmackDown Friday.
Yeah. I noticed. I don't know if it was just me, but I think it was everybody though. But Raw was having a lot of technical difficulties throughout that
Yep.
night.
Yep, especially towards the end of the show during the
Yeah.
CM Punk and Sami Zayn match. I did notice that.
Yeah, I thought I was the only one. I was like, I know it's not buffering. It can't be my Wi-Fi, but it's like I could tell a lot of technical difficulties on their end. I was like, oh, that's weird, but
Yeah, but what was probably the weirdest part of Raw, to no surprise, Seth Rollins' Yosemite Sam outfit. Holy shit.
he looked like a witch from a distance. But look, it shouldn't surprise us, man. Dude, Seth
He
Rollins
looked like he was
be
hunting for
wearing
Bugs Bunny. That's what he looked like.
he be wearing the most wackiest stuff out of nowhere. I
That's
even
the
posted it
point.
on our
That's the
Instagram
point.
page. He
That's the
looks
point
like
of him, though.
he looks like one of those villains. You know how like you go in the neighborhood, those neighborhood watch signs, and it has like the cross, the warning sign. It has the guy in the black hood and all that crap. That's what
Yeah.
Seth Rollins looked like.
He looked like he was going after Bugs Bunny, and he looked like he does not have a liking for black people.
What?
From his outfit, he looked like one of those, like, KKK, like, we don't
Yeah.
like your kind round here type people.
Oh no, he was wearing all black though. I mean, I can see if he was wearing all white. That's different though, but still. But
Maybe the black was to represent their funeral that he would like to have for them.
oh.
Just playing. Nah, but that was some real Yosemite Sam type shit. No lie.
Look, I just can't wait moving forward what they're going to be doing with between Seth and Roman. It's the perfect storyline and the perfect feud to go into WrestleMania. It is absolutely perfect. When you look at the history between those two, it's a long storyline, man. Long.
Very long.
Just
But
wow.
one person who I feel bad for, who is looking like getting kind of like left out in the cold, is Drew McIntyre because of how his
Ah,
whole elimination went down and everything that
yeah.
came out afterwards. He wasn't even on
Mhm.
Raw last night either.
No, no. And I heard a rumor that they were going to probably most likely going to do him versus Damian Priest.
Look, it's not a bad match. They've had good matches before, but it's just
Yeah,
kind of something that's already been done. And
it's just something they
considering,
just randomly just throw in though. That's the weird
yeah,
thing. And
that
then
and the fact that Drew had the great year that he had last year with the feud with Punk, you kind of
yeah,
figured that he would have something bigger at WrestleMania than
true.
something like he already did before.
True. And then when I was reading the reports about who he was angry about, and I'm looking at the video, and I tweeted this on our Twitter page, I said, well, if that's the case, maybe they should do Drew McIntyre versus LA Knight instead.
I don't think he would be fond of that either.
Oh,
Yeah, it's unfortunate because he had such a great year and he definitely earned like a marquee match at WrestleMania. But with everything else that's being set up, it's like, where does he really fit in? It doesn't look like they're gonna do
what
him
could
and
you
Roman
do?
anymore. They're not gonna do like really him and Roman anymore. And
No, we thought, yeah, we thought that, oh, maybe it could be him and Roman. That would be cool though. But after what we saw, it's like, yeah, they completely pivoted towards a different direction. Which, I mean, I don't blame him. I mean, like, I like it, but it's like, again, where does this leave Drew at?
maybe by some chance, maybe him and John Cena, maybe they could do that, but it doesn't look like that's happening.
I wouldn't mind it.
I
Like I
wouldn't
said, I don't know
either.
what's
I don't
gonna
know if they'll do
happen.
it, but I don't mind it either.
Yeah, like I said, it's unpredictable. We don't know what's going to happen at Elimination Chamber. We don't. It could be possibly that where, hey, maybe Drew will have a feud with John Cena going to WrestleMania, or like I said, the triple threat. I look, we don't know what's going to happen. That's the unpredictability part about it. That what makes wrestling so great. That's what I've been enjoying about wrestling for these past couple of years is that we just don't know. We don't know what's going to happen. We could say this and this may happen, but at the end of the day, they could pull a swerve on us and surprise us, just like they did this past Saturday.
Yep. And you can't say that WWE like played it safe with that Royal Rumble outcome or that they didn't do something unpredictable. So like now when people think that they know who's gonna win the Royal Rumble or they think they know that this is gonna happen or that's gonna happen, they'll point right back to the 2025 Royal Rumble.
Mm-hmm.
And speaking of one of the Royal Rumble winners from this past weekend, Charlotte Flair, it came out yesterday from a TMZ report that her and Andrade are officially divorced.
Yeah, shocking. How long were they married?
Damn.
2 years, 3 years? No.
2.5 years. Yeah, they got married Memorial Day weekend in 2022.
Wow,
But they've been
crazy.
together for 6 years. They've been together, like
Yeah,
actually
yeah, they were
together.
together. They were together, with each other, longer prior to that, though. But yeah, man, that's sad. I mean, we don't know what was going on between those two, though. But yes, divorces and breakups in a relationship are sad. You know what I mean, and it happens. But surprisingly, I didn't realize this was Charlotte Flair's third divorce. I thought it was her
Yes,
second.
yes, this is her third divorce.
Wow.
That's why people were joking about the fact that she's trying to catch up to her dad's title reigns and also catch up to the amount of times he's been married.
Or safe to say this,
Damn.
hopefully, she doesn't catch up to J Lo.
Ooh. Well, she's only one away.
God.
I don't know the details. I don't know what happened. It could
We're
have been
not.
anything.
We're not. I mean, we're not. We don't know what's going on between.
Like I'm
That's
not
in that's
gonna.
in any relationship or marriage.
Yeah.
We don't know,
Even
but it's
J Lo, even J Lo, for as much as I don't like her, at the end of the day, I don't know exactly why those marriages ended, and
Kurt. When
that's
you're in that many divorces, that's
you could say the
bad.
same. Yeah,
It's
definitely, it does look bad. It does look bad when you get divorced that many times.
especially when you date the same person twice, like Ben Affleck twice. Twice? Come on. The first time should have like tells you something. When you do something the second time, come on. And it doesn't work out, come on.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I took great pleasure in dissing her last year.
Whoa.
It made me feel so good. Yeah, I've just heard too many stories about her being a piece of shit and treating people who I guess she looks at as beneath her like garbage and acting like they're like she's too important to like talk to them nicely or even interact with them. Period. Even Tommy Davidson had a story about how like they were in Living Color together, and then years later, like after she blew up, he like went up to say hi to her, like because he ran into her, and then she like barely acted like she knew him. She like acted like she was like too important to talk to him.
Wow.
So yeah, just hearing those stories and just how disingenuous she also came off, like speaking at Kamala Harris's rally before the election. I'm like, yo, this lady sucks. I don't care how hot she is. I don't care how great of a dancer she is. I really, really don't like her. All right, but back to Charlotte though. Like I said, like we don't know what happened, but the third divorce, yeah, that does not look good.
Well, I mean, like I said, man, hey, you hate to see stuff like this though, but hey, it is what it is. Breakups happens, man. That's life.
Yeah, I wish both of them the best. I hope they
Mm-hmm.
can heal through
Mm-hmm.
this process. I know divorces suck. I don't
Yeah.
know if that's another reason why the crowd was booing Charlotte so hard last night.
Oh,
But yeah, it's sad, man. They seem like they were so in love and so into each other,
yeah.
but I guess
Yeah.
like Facebook and Instagram can be deceiving.
Hey, man, just like the song from Drake, "Cameras." Only you only see things, but look good on camera.
Oh,
We
fuck Drake too, by the way.
okay, okay. Look, man, I'm not gonna get into that whole beef with him between Drake and Kendrick. That's just a whole different story. At the end of the day, I still, always like Drake as an artist, though, regardless of the whole nonsense. But that's a different story. But the whole point of that song that I was talking about is about look, what we see on camera on photos may be deceiving because we don't know what's going on behind the scenes.
No, we don't. It could be a million and one things. It could have been his
Exactly.
fault. It could have been his fault. It could have been her fault. It could have been both of
Right.
them. Who knows?
Exactly.
But like people are saying that like Andrade's not going to get pushed anymore. Andrade's going to be jobbing out from now on.
Oh,
And I just say I don't think his position's really going to change that much because in all honesty, right now he's not really doing anything like that significant.
yeah. Even
So
prior to the divorce, it wasn't really being pushed that much. You know what I mean? So come on.
yeah, even when he was with Charlotte, like years ago, even when he was with Charlotte, he actually left the company to go to AEW because they weren't putting him
Right.
on TV.
Right.
Yeah, man, but like I said, I don't know what happened. People have also been pointing out to like I guess maybe the how different Charlotte looks now. I'm sure you've probably noticed that too.
Um, but just a little slimmer now.
Probably that also, but also her face.
Oh, um, surgery, plastic surgery. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not hating on her for it. It's her body, it's her money, but it is you do notice it. Like you do notice a change in like the way she looks now compared to a few years ago.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
But like I said, I wish them both the best. It's breakups are always hard, even if it's a breakup that should have happened. And
Mm,
yeah, it's unfortunate, man. Hate to see these things happen, but maybe it was for the best that it did happen in a sense.
yeah, yeah. Mm.
And also, Hulk Hogan was on Pat McAfee's show yesterday, and he addressed like him getting booed at the Raw premiere on
Yeah,
Netflix last month, and his
I saw
excuse
that.
for it. His excuse for it was the fact that the last time he was running in LA back in the day, he was a heel as a part of the NWO, and they haven't forgotten about that.
Oh, stop. And also
And
talking
he
about
also,
the politics thing and blah blah blah. Yeah, and what the biggest thing that I saw, I listened to Undertaker's podcast, that brief little segment they talk about Hogan when he got booed because he was in the back when he heard it, and he, I mean, the accent said, "You come from?" I was like, "No," and Taker said that stuff you do in the past comes around and bites you, and that is true. That's a true statement right there. So I mean,
yeah, and
Taker,
also Hulk.
joked about it and laughed about it, and I was laughing too when they were talking about it too. It's just like look, Hogan's gonna cover up and say, "Oh yeah, because they booed me." He said that he wasn't surprised that they booed him, but he's gonna play it off. Oh, because I was the last time I was there, a heel, and the politics and blah blah blah. I mean, at the end of the day, just look. Us wrestling fans are going to voice our opinions. We have that First Amendment right. We're going to cheer and boo whoever we want.
And one other thing that was funny about the interview was when he talked about how the segment where he got booed got so much like social media engagement and social media views. How he said like it got more views than anything else that was on the show. And admittedly so, that was like one of the main talking points coming out of that show. But that's exactly the way he would play it off, saying, "You see, people still care about me more than they care about everybody else. I'm still a draw brother. I'm still a big deal brother. I'm still a racist piece of shit brother." Yeah, bro, that dude never changes. And yeah, I wasn't expecting him to say anything different from what he said, so it's no surprise. But yeah, just the more he
Mm.
opens his mouth, the more he tries to, get people to believe his bullshit or sell his bullshit, the more easy it is to see through it.
Hey, like Undertaker said, you know, stuff in the past gets revealed. So I think, like I said, that was a very true statement that he said on his podcast. And again, I thought it was pretty funny how when he was talking about it. So I mean, at the end of the day, I really don't care. I mean, I don't need any explanation from anybody, from Hogan or anything like that, to like, oh, you know what I mean? Of course, Pat McAfee, Hogan's on your show. Of course, you're gonna ask a question like that. You know what I mean? How do you felt about that? Of course, that is a good journalism question to ask. But at the same time, it's like, it's whatever. I mean, I don't even care.
Yeah, because you're probably not going to get an honest answer out of Hogan anyway. That's another reason why people boo him, because they know that he's full of shit. He tells tall tales. Bro, you just got to put up a picture online of Hulk Hogan with Pinocchio's nose. That's the best way you can describe his ass. But yeah, it is what it is. Hogan still full of shit as always. No surprise. But before we get out of here, we forgot to talk about this last week. WWE is going to be running a PLE in Paris at the end of August called Clash in
Yeah.
Paris.
Yeah. I heard about that. Man,
Good shit.
they international been getting a lot of PLEs lately, man.
Yeah, they got like half the PLEs last year.
Jesus. Yeah. I was like, yeah, I was like,
There were no PLEs in the States between WrestleMania and SummerSlam.
yeah. Because after Mania, we get Backlash in Mexico
We got Backlash in France.
last year. Yeah. But I'm talking about for this
Yeah.
year. For this year.
Yeah, this year it's rumored to be in Mexico.
Yes. And then Money in the Bank is in June, correct?
June or July, one or the other.
Yeah, we don't. They haven't announced the location for that.
SummerSlam's going to be in the Meadowlands.
Yes, they didn't say specifically where Clash in Paris, what month is going to be in.
No, it's going to be August 31st, I believe.
Oh,
August
August.
31st.
Okay, August. So
Yeah, August 31st.
yeah, uh,
Yeah, it's a good look, man. They've never done a PLE in Paris before. It's going to be lit. They're doing one
yeah,
in Mexico this year and Paris. Yo, that's good shit.
yeah.
I remember watching a WWE compilation tape called World Tour 90, and they had a few matches from Paris there. They had a match between the Rockers and the Rougeau brothers, and also
Hmm.
they had a match between Hogan and Macho Man.
Hmm.
It's from
Interesting.
'89. Yeah, both from
Interesting.
'89.
Interesting. Hmm.
Yeah, so now they're going to be coming back to Paris for a PLE, and I just hope and pray the production value is a lot better on that show than it was on those matches I watched on that World Tour
Of
tape.
course. Come on now. It's a big difference between
I
1989
know.
and 2025. Come on.
And it's
Big
also a
difference.
house show, too.
Yeah, come on. Big difference
I
now. Come on.
know.
Big.
Just talking shit.
Right.
All right, yeah, but we're looking forward to that. That's still months away. And yeah, it is the kickoff to WrestleMania season. A lot's
Yeah.
going to be going down in the next 2.5 months, but we are here for the ride. We're here to break you guys off about everything going on during that ride. And let's just have fun in the process, because that's what this time of the year is all about.
I've
Having
been
some motherfucking fun.
so excited. I was so excited to watch Raw last night, and I'm so excited to be watching Raw and SmackDown and what's going to be going on these next couple of months going to Mania. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, be sure to follow us on social media on both our Instagram and Twitter pages at thechamps.clash. And also please be also leave a review. Give us a review and leave reviews for our episodes, and chat with us. And what do you think?
Yeah, definitely follow us on our Instagram page, our Twitter page. Also, subscribe to our YouTube channel. There'll be a lot of great
Yes,
stuff coming up
YouTube.
there in the next
Yes.
few weeks. Yeah, definitely check
Hmm.
us out there. You could
Yeah.
watch the live version of this episode, video version, as well as the audio version, whichever you prefer. And
Hmm.
yes, until next time, for John Randall, this is Conscious Kurt for another edition of the Clash of Champions. Take care. Have fun during Super Bowl weekend, especially Kendrick Lamar's performance.
Yes.
Five-time Grammy winner.
Man, clean sweep. My God.
Whew.
Woo. Clean sweep. Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Congratulations to him. You win 5 Grammys, and now a week later you're gonna perform in a halftime show.
yeah,
Impressive.
good for him and Beyonce too. Congratulations to Beyonce
Oh, my
also.
girlfriend was happy. She won record of the year. She was hoping and praying that Taylor Swift was not going to win record of the year. She was like, please not Taylor Swift. She was like, please Beyonce. And of course, Beyonce won record of the year, which was no surprise. That album was actually pretty good. It was good.
The Cowboy
Cowboy
Carter
Carter.
album.
Yeah, it was good.
I'm
One,
sure it was. I don't listen to
she
country music like that, but I'm sure it was
she
good.
won
It went
country.
under.
She won a Grammy for best country album.
Yeah, I heard she got snubbed like at the CMT Awards, at the Country Music Awards, and now
Yeah,
she's getting her just
but
due.
but hey, winning a Grammy, that's bigger. You know what I mean? So that's an accomplishment. So
Yeah, she won Album of the Year
yep,
too. That's crazy. Album of the
yep.
Year.
Be mindful.
And
I
the
told my girlfriend this. Shout out to my girlfriend Samantha. I told my girlfriend this, and I'm gonna tell you and tell everybody else this. Watch out for next year. Bad Bunny's new album that dropped earlier last month is gonna be nominated for Record of the Year. Nominated.
okay,
That
hope it
album
is.
has been getting so much appeal. Of all the Bad Bunny albums I've listened to, that is the one album that he's been getting so much appeal. It's crazy. Watch out. It's going to be nominated for Record of the Year.
We'll see what happens next year. But yes, congratulations to Kendrick Lamar and
Yes.
Beyonce for making history at the
Hmm.
Grammys. Good look. And until next time, for John Randall, this is Conscious Kurt with another edition of the Clash of Champions. Take care. Have a good weekend. Enjoy the Super Bowl and everything else in between. And remember, most of
Hmm.
all, don't be an asshole and a douchebag in real life or social media, because all that toxic bullshit is for the birds.
And ladies and gentlemen, as always, stay safe, stay blessed, and stay focused and be cool.
Peace.